Hey you guys, what's going on? Back here with another review for the Terminator. But anyways, I remember when I first watched this movie. I was 3 years old. I mean, man, that was a long time ago, and till this day, I still think it holds up pretty damn good. You know, and I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is definitely in the. I mean, I couldn't imagine anybody else being in the Terminator, being the Terminator. And then I also think that Michael Biehn, man, he's really good as Kyle Reese. I also think that Linda Hamilton is really good as Sarah Connor. Um, anyways, I always like the sequence when the Terminator comes back in time and sits there, and all of a sudden, like, Schwarzenegger's just walking through the street, and then these, like, gang of hoodlums are making fun of him, though. And then, I mean, dude, he literally takes his fist and just jams it in this guy's fucking chest. And the guy's fucking dead, you know? I mean, that's pretty crazy. And then, when Kyle Reese, like, basically spawns in the orb, and then he falls down, and he has to go in there and get some clothes. And he has to find Sarah Connor and make sure that she survives. And I think everybody really does a good job. And I've always liked the movie. I mean, there hasn't been one time where I haven't enjoyed watching The Terminator. I think the special effects are pretty good. I mean, maybe there's like a spotty effect when like he gets shot and like he's like cleaning his eye out and like it looks a little fake. But I mean, I'd rather them do that the way they did it than like watch like CGI, because I can't fucking stand that shit unless like you absolutely have to use it. And because this movie was made in 1984, they don't have CGI, and I always thought they did a really good job. Um, I always liked the part where the Terminator's in the hotel room and the guy walks up. He's like, "Hey, buddy, you got a dead cat in there?" And he's like, he chooses his like thing to say, and he's like, "Fuck you, asshole," and then he's like walking down the hallway with like an assault rifle and stuff, and I mean that's some pretty crazy shit. But then, anyways, Kyle Reese, I mean, he sort of like has to like stalk Sarah Connor. I mean, kind of pretty fucking weird, you know. But anyways, he does that, and then the Terminator goes in the phone book. Just like Kyle Reese, they both go to a phone book and find Sarah Connor, and the Terminator goes in there and he kills like two Sarah Connors like back to back, and they call it like the phone book killer. And then Sarah Connor sees it on the TV and she's like scared shitless, which I can't blame her. And then Kyle Reese eventually finds Sarah Connor at a Technor, and like the Terminator's like he pulls out like an Uzi, and like Kyle Reese jumps behind the bar. I always thought that was pretty good, and interesting how like the Terminator weighs like 400 pounds, and he's able to be like pushed a little bit and shit, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And then it leads to a car chase, and then like the Terminator can like impersonate people. Like if somebody on the CB says something, like he can say it just like them though, so they don't know it's him. And then he eventually gets a cop car, and then they go to a parking garage, and they find, like, he finds him, and then they have to hotwire a car. And Kyle Reese was sent back from the future to protect Sarah Connor, to prevent Judgment Day, or to make sure John Connor was born. And then, anyways, they do that, and then basically Kyle Reese ended up finding out that he is John Connor's dad, and then they go have sex in the bed, because that's just what they had to do to produce a kid, you know. He came from the future, but she was in 1984, So I always thought that was pretty interesting. And then the Terminator shows up and just fucking like shoots the whole room up. And then they take off in a truck. And then the Terminator jumps in like a tanker truck. And fucking they sit there and like Kyle Reese had a pipe bomb and he shoved it in the back of the truck, and then Sarah Connor was running away and it blew it up. And I don't think it's that bad, like what they had to do. Like, I mean, still, like I think like how they did the robot like was really good, and I appreciate that they did it that way. I think they used stop motion animation and like a smaller truck that blew up, but then like the Terminator had like come through the wreckage after that, and then they went in the facility, and then they turned on all the shit so it would like the Terminator would be like not really like focused on them completely. And then Kyle Reese ends up putting a pipe bomb in the Terminator and fucking blows it up. But you think it's dead, and then it's crawling after Sarah Connor, and then Sarah Connor crawls through this like one opening where like it crushes metal down, and then she gets out, and then she says her famous line, "You're terminated, fucker," and she hits the green button behind her and shuts the grate so the Terminator can't get out, and then it gets crushed. And I always thought that was really good, and for that reason, I'm going to give the movie an 8.5 out of 10. I've always enjoyed it. Enjoy it till this day. Look forward to more reviews, but have a good night.